So yesterday we have talked about the Power BI. What is Power BI? Why Power BI? So Power BI is a data visualization tool which help us to convert the complex data into a easily understandable. Here it is. So this is what is the final output we are expecting from this module. So post completion of this module, you will be successfully able to create this type of visuals. Okay, this is the interactive visual which, as I have shown you yesterday, we will be able to. And yesterday we have already talked about few of this like bar chart and pie chart, donut chart. We have talked about few of the visual which we have seen over here. And now so this is the final output which we will be creating. Okay, so let's go to Power BI. Quick review what we have done yesterday. So we have seen what is Power BI, why Power BI, the different products in the Power BI we have, right? The two major things which we use in the Power BI is the Power BI desktop and Power BI service, which is used to create the visuals and share the visualization. We have compared the two most powerful tools, that is Power BI and Tableau, data visualization tools. The market leaders, we have compared these. We have seen how to install Power BI, the three basic steps in Power BI, that is getting the data into the Power BI, choosing which type of visualization is required, and then selecting the fields to be worked on. So this is the first chart which we have created. This is a stacked column chart over here which we have created. So the various chart we have talked about, the pie chart, donut chart, funnel chart. We have talked about the ribbon chart over here, in which we have seen so many information has been displayed in a very simple manner. We have talked about the include and exclude over here. Right. Then we have seen how to maintain and manipulate the tabular data. So we have talked about the tabular data in Power BI using tables and using the matrix. How can a matrix be used? And we have also talked about the matrix hierarchies. Okay. Now, today we have to proceed. We will see few more visuals over here in the line chart. So few more visuals, and the first visual which is coming up today is the line chart. So let's see how can we create a line chart in the Power BI. So here is the Power BI. Right. So the first thing which we do in Power BI is getting the data into Power BI. So let me say get data and Excel. I'm using the same data source which we have used yesterday, that is orders. Okay, here it is. Now we wanted to create a line chart. So let me take the line over here. Line chart is normally used when we want to display the trend. Suppose I want to see the sales on the basis of the year. So let me take the sales into the values, and let's put the order date into the axis. So you can see the year wise sales over here. Now, as you see that the labels are appearing, if you want to display the data labels, you can also display the data labels. But these are appearing very small. If you want to increase the size, so you can go over here in the view. I'm changing the default size over here. View. You will see there's an option of customize current theme. I have told you this thing yesterday as well. I will go to the text. Let me increase the size as 16 and say apply. Here it is. So we are getting the year wise sales over here. Now, if you see over here, you will see this arrows. These are known as the hierarchy buttons. So I will go to the next level. So it is showing year wise and quarter wise. Let me go to the next level. It is giving me the year wise, month wise sales over here. So it is showing me the monthly sales over here. Right. If you don't want the data labels, you can switch off the data labels over here. And let me go up quarter and the year. Now, if you will see the double-headed arrow, now it is giving me the sales of quarters where quarter one is the sum of the sales of the quarter one of all the 4 years. Then if I go to the next level, now this January means the sale of all the Januaries, 14, 15, 16, 17. The total sales generated in the month of January. Then we have February and so on. Okay. All right. And suppose I want to put, let's take the region into the legend. So I'm getting year wise, region wise sales over here. Every line indicates a region over here. Right? These are the legends appearing over here. If you don't want the legend, you can switch off the legend. You can change the data colors if required. You can make the data labels. You can give the series label. So it is saying west, east, central, and the south. You can go to the shape and you can increase the size or the thickness of the line over here. Okay. So this is how you can manipulate the line chart. So it is displaying that in the first year, this is the eastern region sales. So yeah, this one is, yes, it is western region sales. So this is the first year, second year, the sales is down, third year it is up, and 4 years is again up. So this is what we are getting over here in the line chart. Okay. Let's proceed further. The next we have again a line chart. Again, I have taken an example over here to give you a monthly sales, which I have already shown you. So sales on the basis of order date. Let me resize this and you can show the quarter and the monthly sales over here. So this is displaying the monthly sales. Okay. Then we have the area chart. Area chart is same like the line chart. The only difference is the area below the line is being filled. So here is the area chart. Let me resize it. Let me take the sales on the basis of order date. And so you can see same line chart, but the only difference is the area below the line has been filled, and that is why it is known as a area chart. And you can put the, let's take region into the legend, and this is what you are getting. You are getting the filled area over here. Okay. Clear? So this is a line chart or area chart over here. Similarly, if you want to display the data labels, you can put over here, sorry, just select it, go over here, and you can display the data labels over here. Ah, I was expecting that nobody is doing the drawing till yet. Please don't do this. Okay, so this was the area chart. Let's proceed further and see what is coming next. Then we have some combo charts, so line and the clustered column. Let's see. Line and the clustered column. This is a combo chart over here. So let me take the sales into the column values on the basis of order date. Year wise sales I am getting. Let me put the region into the column series. So I am getting a bar for each of the region. So the purple is representing west. This is south, east, and central. Right? Now, let me put profit into the line values. And this line indicates the profit. Let me go to the formatting. Let me display the data labels. Stroke width. Let's take 6. I have made a bit thicker line over here. So this is what we are getting over here. So it is showing us the region wise, year wise sales and the profit. So it is giving in the 2014, the total sales is 50, total profit is 50,000. In 15, it is 62,000, 16, it is 82, and 17, it is 93,000. Okay. And this is your sales for each region. So this is known as the clustered and the line chart. Clustered line chart. Similarly, we also have another combo chart, which is a stacked column chart and the line chart. So let me take this. I will take the same example over here so that you can see the difference. So let me take the sales on the basis of order date. Let me put the region into the column series. Now you can see you are getting a stacked column chart over here. And I would like to take the profit into the profit into the line. So you're getting the profit over here. And let me display the data labels and the total as well. 50,000 profit, 62,000, 82,000, and that last one is getting overlapped 93,000. Okay. Somebody saying something. You can put anything in region, whatever you want. If you don't want the region, let us take another example. Instead of region, you can put the segment. Let's take the segment. So it is giving year-wise, segment-wise bifurcation of the sales. So it is up to you, depending on the requirement, you can select what has to be taken. Right? Here it is. Then we have a scatter chart in Power BI. This is a very interesting chart, and this is a special chart in Power BI. So let's see what is the special over here. So this is the scatter chart. Let me resize it. And let me take the sales and let me take the profit over here. So this bubble which you're seeing over here, it is representing the overall sales and overall profit which has been generated. Now let me take the subcategory into the legends, or let's take it into the details. So you can see you are getting the different bubbles over here, which is indicating the sales and the profit for each subcategory. So it is giving you the phone sales and the profit over here. If you want, you can put the category into the legend. So you are getting the different color bubbles over here. And if you want, you can also put the sales into the size. So you will having a bigger bubbles over here. Okay, and now you will see there is an option called play axis. So let me put the order date into the play axis and see what happens. So just click on this play icon and see. You can see the date is changing and see the bubbles are moving over here. What is happening? It is giving you the day-wise sales, but I don't want a day-wise sale. So I can click on this drop-down arrow and you will see there is an option called date hierarchy. You can go to the hierarchy and now see year. And now you click on the play icon, 14, 15, 16, 17. So the specialty of the scatter chart is it is the only default animated chart in Power BI. It is the only default animated chart in Power BI. Okay. Here it goes. 14, 15, 16, 17. Right. So, and if you want, you can do some formatting. You can show the category over here. So it is displaying phone, copiers, something like that. Right. If you don't want the title, you can switch off the title. And now, if you click on any of this, let's take copiers. So it will tell you the journey of the copier, 14, 15, 16, 17. So copier sales is continuously growing. Let us take the phones. So 14, 15, it has been reduced, 16, 17. So this is the journey of phones. Let's take tables. So 14, 15, 16, and 17. So switch dip over here. Profit has been dipped. So that is your scattered chart over here. Right? You can play around. There are many formatting options. You can change the color. You can change the font size. You can display the labels and all. You can play around with this. I'm not getting into very much details into it because I have to give you too many things. Right? Like changing of the shapes here. You want, you can change the size. You can change the shape. Suppose you want, instead of circle, you want a square. So it is a square is appearing over here. Or you can take a triangle or a diamond, whatever you want. You can take it over here. But I feel like that circle is the best. So I have taken it. Right. Okay, let's proceed further and see what is coming next. The next thing which comes up over here is a waterfall chart. So let's say here is this waterfall. So let me take this time. I would like to take profit into the values. And let me put subcategory into the category. So you can see you are getting the subcategory wise profit over here. The red color indicates the negative and the green color indicates the positive rates. And it is known as a waterfall chart because normally the bar goes from bottom to the top, but here the bars are coming from the top to the bottom. So that means the bars are falling over here. These are the falling bars. Okay, so that is why it is known as a waterfall chart. If you want, you can also display the data label. So here it is. The negative values are appearing in a red color and the positive values are appearing in a green color. Okay. Right. So this is your waterfall chart. Let's proceed further and see what comes next. The next we have over here is a tree map. It's a tree map over here. So let's create a tree map. So tree map is normally used when we need to bifurcate it on the multiple. We want to compare the values of a particular field. So let's take an example over here. So I would like to take the sales into the values. So this square represents the overall sales. Let me go over here and display the data labels. So 2.3 millions. If you want, you can change the unit as well over here. I want to make the unit as thousands. Decimal value 0. So the overall sales is 2297,000. Now let me go over here and I will put region into the group. See, the overall sales has been divided into 4 parts: west, east, central, and south. And remember, the first square will always give you the maximum value. So the west has generated the sales of 725,000. If you want to drill down it further, let's take category over here into the details. So you can see that the regional sales has been further bifurcated on the basis of the category, where you can see in the west region, furniture has given us the maximum sales, central is the technology, south is technology, and east is also technology. So other than the west, all the region has given the maximum sales in technology only. If you want, you can also put multiple things. Let me put the segment into the region. And now see, when I put the segment, I'm getting a hierarchy button over here. So I can click on this double-headed arrow. Now I'm getting the West consumer, East consumer, Central consumer, Center corporate, and so on. Okay, so we are getting a hierarchy over here. So it is known as a tree map because just like in uh, just like tree has multiple branches, similarly this also has multiple branches. We have taken the one value over here. Let me remove this, let me remove this, let me remove this. So just we imagine this to be this, assume this to be the trunk of the tree. And if you put region over here, now these are 4 branches from that tree, from that trunk. Now, if I put category over here, there are more branches from these 4 branches, and so on. Okay. So this is known as a tree map. Tree map. Let's see what comes next. Okay, the next thing which is coming up over here is a gauge chart, or some people also refer to as a gauge chart. So whatever you want, let's see, somebody is saying something over here. Okay, tree map. Right. Okay. So let's talk about the gauge chart over here. So here is your gauge chart. And I'm sure you must have seen this type of visual at number of places. Like the most common is when you check the internet speed, you get a chart, right? So it is used to show the actuals and the target. This can be displayed in the gauge chart. So let me put the sales over here into the value. Let me put the sales over here. So see, it is displaying that the total sales done is 2.3 million. And if you want, you can put the profit into the target value. Here it is. It is also displaying the profit on the sales of 2.3 million. The total profit generated was 286,000. Okay. Now let us see a few things over here. Like these are known as the gauge axis. This is the gauge axis. And by default, if you will take anything from here, it will be the axis. As the value is 2.3 million, so it is almost double. Almost double of the axis value will be displayed as the axis. Almost double of this value will be taken as an axis over here. However, this gauge chart, the utility of the gauge chart is more when it is used with other visuals. Okay. And in Power BI, you can create multiple visuals on the same page. So till now, I haven't done that. But here I can tell you that you will be able to create multiple visuals on the same page in Power BI. So let's create another visual on this page where I would like to take, let me take a bar chart where I would like to display the sales on the basis of segment. And let me display the data labels. I have copy pasted this visual. You can also copy paste a visual. Here I would like to take segment. Let me take the category over here. Or let's take the region. Okay, now see what happens, and I will just go do a quick formatting, data labels. I want to do the same formatting on this as well. Okay, here it is. Now see what happens. Now I click on the Western region and see what happens. Now all the other visuals are displaying the details for the Western region also only. So this is the beauty of Power BI, that if you put multiple visuals on the same page, those visuals are by default dynamic to each other. If I say consumer, see it is giving me the sales for consumer. If I say home office, it is giving me the sales for home office. And you can see that the fill area remains the constant, but the axis is being changed depending. See, it is 859,000. Let me take this. It has become 1.41 million. Okay. So let me do some of the formatting to this gauge chart. First of all, I want this to be, let me go over here, gauge axis. I would like to get the maximum value as and here it is. Now you click on consumer, corporate, home office, west, east, central, south, right? So you can see dependently it is changing over here. Okay. All right. Then let me click on this. Remember, if you want to format a visual, you have to select a particular visual and then go to the formatting, so that you will be getting the formatting options for that particular visual only. Right? Data color, if you want to change the color of this, I will like to take the fill color as, let's take, I want to take it as orange. Target color, if you want to display the target, let me say I want to display it in blue color. Hmm. Data labels, if you don't want this data label, so I have removed the data labels from the bottom. Target value, this is the target value. If you want to display the target value, you can make it on, else you can make it as off. I will say on or off. So I want to display it at the center. This is known as the call out value. You can also think, first of all, you can change the color also of this. Let me make it as an orange color. Call out value. So this is known as a call out value. And on the top, you are getting the title. And call out value, it is appearing in millions. So you can change the display unit to thousands. And I would like to make the decimal value as 0. I don't want the title. I've removed the title. If you want to put any background color, you can put the background color over here. Border, shadow. So this is all the cosmetic part which can be done over here. Okay, here it is. So here is your gauge chart, right? So this is your gauge chart. Right? So this is how your gauge chart is working. So gauge chart is a very important for the reporting point of view. If you notice in the report which I have shown you, I have also used the gauge chart over here. Very useful to display the summarized information. We in almost 90% of the cases in a report we use a gauge chart. Okay, then let's see what comes next. The next thing which is coming up over here is the cards. Again, a very important thing we have over here is the card. In every report, I would say we have a card. 99% cases we will be having a card in the report. It is used to display the summary information, and we have different type of cards over here like text card, number card, date card, multi-row card, dynamic card. So let's see how can we create a card. So this is it. Here you will see in the visual you have something 1 2 3 over here. You can take 1 2 3 and let me put the sales, or not sales. First of all, I would like to give you an example of a text card. So I would like to put the subcategory. You will see there is only one option, that is field. So you can put it over here. So it's just displaying the first subcategory. Now, what do you mean by first subcategory? So according to the data source, if you want to see, I can show you that. Let me put the subcategory over here. I have created the table with the subcategories. Right. So in the list, the first one is accessories. Let me take another one. Let's take another card over here. So I can double click on the 1 2 3 and I can put subcategory over here. You can drag and drop it over here as well. And it is displaying the first subcategory. You can click on this drop down and you can say last subcategory. So you will see you are appearing, the last is appearing as tables. First and the last. Then let me once again take 1 2 3 and I will like to put the subcategory over here, and you will click on this drop down arrow and you will see count of subcategory. So it is saying how many subcategories are being displayed in the data. So they are 9,994 because in every row we have a subcategory. So the total number of records being displayed over here. Let me take a card once again. And again, I would like to put the subcategory over here. You can drag it directly onto the visual. And here you can say count distinct. Count distinct means it is giving us the unique subcategories, and there are overall 17 subcategories over here. Okay, so these all are the example of text card. So these are the text cards over here. These are the text cards. Let's proceed further and let's take an example of a number card. Basically, the card is one. This is the only card. If I put a text into it, it becomes a text card. If I put a number into it, it becomes a number card. So let me put a number into it. Let us take the sales over here. So it is giving the overall sales. So it is a number card. Let me put This time I would like to put the profit over here. So I'm getting the overall profit. I will take another card where I would like to take the discount. I will take another card where I would like to say the quantity. Here it is. Sales, quantity, discount, profit. Sales, okay. So this is, we have created sales, profit, discount, and quantity. Now, as we are putting the numbers over here, it is becoming a number card. Let's see few of the formatting options we have. So I can go to the card formatting. Then you have the data label. So if you want to change the color of the data label, let me try to take it as an orange. So you can see that the data label is appearing in an orange color. The display unit, I want to make it as 1,000. So it is appearing as 1,000. And the decimal places I don't want. So I'm getting it as 0. So no decimal places is being displayed. So this is about the data labels. Then category. So at the bottom, the sales which is mentioned is the category. So I can switch it off or I can display it. So I can click on this drop down arrow. If you want, you can change the color of this. So let me try to take this a golden color over here for this. And if you want, the sales text size can also be changed. I'm not changing it. Okay. Then we have on the top, we have the title. If you want some title, you can put the title, but I'm not putting any title. You can select the background. If you want, I would like to get a black background. So I'm putting it as a black background. If you want, you can also set the transparency to set the background color. So I don't want to do so. Then border, shadow if required. Okay, border. And here is the radius. Right, so with the help of radius, we can create, I told you yesterday also, with the help of radius, we can create a rounded corner, rounded corners of the visual. Okay, so this is it. Now I want to do the same formatting for the quantity as well. So again, I will select the quantity, go to the format, go to the category, change the color, right? Whatever, this one, right? So this is how I will be doing. So it will be taking time, but here I don't have to repeat all the steps. I can take this, and there is something known as format painter. We all are familiar with the format painter. In almost all the Microsoft tools, we have this format painter, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, everywhere it is there. So I will take the format painter and I will take the format painter, put it over here. See, the format has been applied. I will again take the format painter and let me take the format painter over here and apply it over here. Right? So simply, quickly, we have created this live marks over here. So this is a text card we have created over here. Sorry, my bad, not a text card. It is a number card which we have created. So if you want, you can resize this cards. Here it is. Discount data level. I will like to give one decimal place over here. Right, this is fine. Now let us make it as dynamic. So let us create one visual over here. Okay, so I will take one visual which will display the sales. on the basis of category. Let me resize this, and I would like to display the data labels. Here it is. Now you click on technology and see what happens. Now all the cards are giving you the information about technology, where the total sales is technology is 836,000. The quantity sold is 7,000. The discount is 0.2 thousand, and the total profit is earned is 145,000. Okay. Similarly, if you want, you can also take another visual over here. Let me take the region and let me take the sales. I will display the data labels. Here it goes. Now you click on the south. So it is giving you the details of the south, central, east, west, technology, and so on. Okay. So this is your dynamic number card. Let's see the next card we have over here. The next card we have is a date card. Text card, dynamic card, date card. So let me take one over here, and I would like to put the order date into it. Right. So it is appearing as a date card over here. So it is displaying earliest order date. What does this earliest order date means? Earliest order date means this is the date on which we have received the first order. Friday, January 3rd, 2014 is the date on which we have received the first order. Okay. And let me take a visual over here where I would like to display the sales on the basis of region. Let me click on West. So Monday, January 6, 2014 is the date on which we have received a first order from in the Western region. East it is 5th of January, Central it is 3rd of January, and South it is 6th of January. That means the first order has been received from the Central on 3rd of January. Okay. Then now I supposingly I don't want this earlier order date. Earliest order date is of no use for me. I would like to go with, instead of earliest, I would like to go for the date on which we have generated the maximum sales, right? So what I will do, for which I need to use this filters, I have selected this card over here. I will take this order date and I will put it on filter on this visual. And there is something you will see as basic filtering. I don't want to go for basic filtering. There is something known as top n. I will say I want to say top 1 on the basis of so sales. So I will take the sales and put into the buy value. And do not forget to click on apply filter. 2014 was the date on which we have received the maximum sales. But the label is not going as per it. So I can change this label. I can click on this drop down and you will see rename this visual. So I will say max sales generated. Okay, so this is the date on which the maximum sales has been generated. If I click on the Western region, so the maximum sales has been generated on 23rd of March. So this is what we are seeing over here. So we can see in the Western region, the maximum sales has been done on 23rd of March. If I talk about the East, the maximum sales has been done on 22nd of October. In the Central region, the maximum sales has been generated on 2nd of October 2016. And in South region, the South region, the maximum sales has been generated on March 18, 2014. Okay. So this is how we are having a dynamic date card over here. So this was the date card. Let's see what comes next over here. Okay, then we have something known as multi-row card. So let's take an example of a multi-row card as well. So this is the card, and just next to it, you will get another card, which is a multi-row card. Now, by default, let me put in this card, I would like to put the customer name over here. Or instead of customer name, let me remove the customer name. I would like to go with the subcategories. Okay, I will like to go with a subcategory. So you can see initially when I have put in the subcategory, I could get only one subcategory into the visual, but now I'm getting all the subcategories listed over here. Why? Because it is a multi-row card. In this, you can put multiple values. Let me also put the sales over here, and here it goes. So I'm getting the sales and the subcategories over here. Now, supposingly, I want to display the top three subcategories. Top three subcategories. So let us take the top three subcategories over here. And before which, let me do some formatting, or let's first of all take the top three. So I will put the subcategory into, you will see something known as filter on this visual. I will put it over here. Instead of basic filtering, I will say top N. I want top three on the basis of sales. So I will put the sales over here, and do not forget to click on apply filter. Here it is. So I'm getting the top three subcategories over here. Let me go to the formatting, and the category, you can make it as off. So you can see the sales, and sales is not getting repeated. The card title, if you want, you can change the card title over here. You can change the color if you want. Let me take it as golden over here, and I can increase the text size. Let's take it as 20. All right. Then you have the data labels over. You can change the data label color. Let me take it as orange over here. And let me reduce the size over here. Let me say 18. So this is how your data label is appearing. Now you can see these lines are appearing over here. So you can go to the card, and if you don't want this line, you can just switch off this, and you can say this is the top three subcategories being displayed over here. If you want, you can also give the border color and all that, the background color. So I would like to give it some background color, and I will be preferring black over here. And I would also like to say a border over here, which would be a rounded corner border, and a shadow as well. So this is what we are getting over here. Okay. Now see what happens. Let me create a chart over here, which should display the sales on the basis of category. Now, if you click on the, okay, one more thing, you just see the value over here, 330,000, 320. So it is not sorted. So I can click on this drop down arrow. You will see sort by sales and sort descending. The maximum sales has been given by phones, then it is chairs, and then it is storage. Let me click on technology. So it is giving me the top three from technology. Let us take the furniture, top three from furniture, and let's take the office supplies. So we are getting the top three from office supplies. So it is a dynamic multi-row cart over here. So we have created a multi-row cart. This is your multi-row cart appearing over here. Okay, let's see what comes next. Next thing which is coming up over here is filters in Power BI. Okay, so before I proceed on with this filter, how is it going so far? Right? Are you getting the value out of this module? If yes, type in value. Type in V in the chat box if you are really getting a value out of this. Yes, good. Superb. Value, yes. Wonderful. Great. So that is the entire motive behind conducting this module, that we should be able to give you the maximum value in a minimum period of time. And as committed, I'm trying my best to bring you at a level that post completion of this module, you will be able to work in Power BI. I won't say that you will be a champion of Power BI, but yes, Power BI will no more be a monster for you. You can work comfortably in the Power BI. Rest, if you put some efforts, more efforts, some practice, you can do wonders in Power BI, right? So it is all about getting introduced to Power BI. Right, perfect. Let's proceed further. And thank you for your lovely responses. Now we are talking about the filters in Power BI. Hmm. Right, so let's see the filters over here. Let's take this. Okay, for this, let me take some visuals. I will take this where I would like to display the sales on the basis of subcategory, putting the data labels over here. And let me resize this. I would like to put okay, let me put another one where I would like to take the sales on the basis of category. Let's put the category into the legend as well. And let me display the data labels. For this also, I would like to display the category into the legend. And let us take one more. So let's take another value. Let's take a pie where we are displaying the sales on the basis of category. Right. This is what we are getting over here. And quick formatting on this, no legends and detailed in data labels. this is what it is appearing over here. Let's remove the title as well. Now, let me take any one of these. I will take this and let us say filter on this visual. So let me take the category over here and I will see there's three sections. You will say filter on this visual, filter on this page, and filter on all pages. So I will give it on the filter on this visual. I will put it onto the filter on this visual. And let's take, I only want furniture. I want technology and furniture. So if you notice, whatever I am changes I'm making, whatever the filter I am implementing, it is affecting only this particular visual. It is not impacting any other visual on this page. Why? Because I'm using filter on this visual. It will impact only the visual on which the filter has been applied. Let me remove this filter and once again I will take the category and this time I will put it onto the filter on this page. Let me put it over here and let's do the filtering. So let me take the furniture. So you say all the visuals are displaying the details of furniture only. Let us take technology as well. So I'm getting furniture and technology, right? Let me take all. This is what is displaying. So it is impacting all this. Now let me take furniture and office supplies and you will see there are so many other visuals also, but these visuals will not be impacted, right? If I create another page over here where I would like to display, let me take the sales on the basis of order date, bifurcated on the basis of category. Let us take another one where I would like to take let me take this sales on the basis of the region, bifurcated on the basis of category. Right. So you have 1, 2, 3. So as of now, 1, 2. Right. Let's take in. So I have applied the filter on this page and whatever filter I am using, it is impacting only this page. It is putting no impact on any other visual on the other pages. Now, let me remove this filter over here. Let me remove this filter and I will take this. Let me take the category and put it onto filter on all pages. Now you take office supplies. You are getting the details of office supplies. Office supplies. Everywhere it is office supplies. You will say office supplies and technology. So now you will get office supplies and technology. And if you say furniture as well, so you will be getting the furniture also. So it is impacting. So the where you want it to impact on this page, on all pages, on this visual, on this page, and all pages. So three options are available over here. Right. Somebody is saying something, sir. Please tell how to decide what to put in legend and what to put in details. What put in value and what put in tooltips. Okay, right. See, it depends on the visual what thing needs to be put in over here. So if you are creating a bar chart, so it will be requiring, I cannot give you a fix in the, okay, every time you will be putting something. Like let's take an example of a bar chart, or let's take a simplest example, bar chart. Now here you have the legend and values and access. So first of all, value, what do you want it to show? You want to say sales, discount, profit, what do you want? So let's take, I want to display the profit. So I will put the profit into the values. Now you wanted to bifurcate the profit on what basis? Category, subcategory, region, segment, whatever. So I will say I wanted to bifurcate it on the basis of category. So I will put the category into the axis, right? Now in the legend, if you wanted to bifurcate this on the basis of something, then you can put, let's take segment into the legend. Now, if you are moving over here, you will move your pointer. So you are getting in this visual, you have used three things: segment, profit, and the category. So all the three things has been displayed uh, in this visual. If you want to display something else over here, you can put it into the tooltip. Let's take, I also want to display the sales. So I will put the sales into the tooltip. Now see, category, segment, profit, and the sales. All the four things are being displayed over here. Okay. So this is an answer to your question. I hope I am able to answer your question. Okay, see, please recorded video because very few I am unable. So please, all the videos, study material, everything you will be getting it. Admin team is working very, will be providing you all these things, right? So as of now, I won't be able to talk much about this videos and all. You will be getting it. How? Admin team has already told you all these things that it will be available on the YouTube channel and the various social media platforms that will be available, right? So please don't worry about it and let us focus what we have to create over here, right? So let's go back and we have talked about the filters, filter on the pages. Then we have drill through. So let's see what is a drill through option over here. So let me create one visual. I would like to create, let me take the sales on the basis of the region. Let me display the data labels. Let me put the let's take the region. Let's take a matrix over here, which will display the sales on the basis of region and segment. Hmm. So region wise sales, let me name this as region. Let me go to this segment. Okay, or I can just duplicate it to make this thing more easier. Segment, and here instead of region, I would like to put the segment by sales. I'm getting over here, and over here instead of region, I would like to take the segment and category. Segment wise, category wise sales I'm getting over here. Okay. Let me create a copy of this, duplicate. Let me name it as category. And I would like to display the category sales and here are needs, category and subcategory wise sales. Category and subcategory wise sales is being displayed over here. And oh, I haven't done on this. This is category. So let me take category over here. And let me duplicate this where I would like to take subcategory sales, and here also we will like to give the subcategory sales. Here it is, and I will name it as S6. Right. So we were talking about the drill through. So I will go to the segment and let's create a drill through. So I will put this region, and you will see there is an option called add drill through field over here. So I will put the region into the drill through. So you see, as soon as I put the region into the drill through, I'm getting a back button over here. Let me go to the category and I will put the segment into the drill through. Let me go to the subcategory and let me put category into the drill. Now see what happens. Let me go to the region. Let me select any of the region. Let's take central. So you see the sales of the central is 501,000. Just remember this figure over here. Now I wanted to bifurcate the central sales on the basis of segment. So I will right click over here and I will say drill through segment. So now I am getting, just see the total 501,000. I am getting the bifurcation of 501,000 over here. Okay. Then let's take the home office where the sales is 91,000. I will need to bifurcate it on the basis of category. So I can right click over here. I will say drill through category. Right. So I'm getting the bifurcation of this 91,000 over here. Let's take furniture and that is 25,000. I want to bifurcate this on the basis of subcategory. So I can right click over here. I say drill through subcategory. Here it goes. I'm getting the bifurcation of this 25 over here. Right. So this is how we are getting the bifurcation. If you will go to the back button, just click on the back. You're back on the category, back segment, back region. Right. So this is known as drill through. This is the drill through we have. Then let us take one more filter over here. Let us take this. I would like to take the sales on the basis of subcategory, putting the category into the legend. Oh, I have taken the country, sorry. Category into the legend. Right. And we have one more type of filter, which is a dynamic filter. Oh my God, sorry. So remember when you are working with the multiple visual and you have one visual and you want to add another visual, ensure that no other visual is selected while you are adding a new visual. That's otherwise your original visual will be overwritten. Okay, so let's take a slicer over here. And this is the another type of filter we have. And let me put the category into the slicer. Okay, now you click on the furniture, you are getting the details of furniture, office supplies, technology. So this is the dynamic slicer we have. You can use the control click if you wanted to select multiple, right? And let's see what are the formatting options available for the slicer. So you can go in the slicer, you will see slicer header on the top, you are getting the category. I don't want the slicer header, so I remove this. Then you can say selection control. As of now, I have to use control click to select multiple, right? So you can say multiple select with control, you can make it off. Now see what happens. Now you can select whatever you want, like this. Okay, then you can also make it as a single select. Now even if you are using control click, you will not be able to select two values, you will be only able to select one value. So I don't want the single select option. I also want to get a select all button. So now you are getting a select all button. Slicer header is off already, right? So these are the major selection controls. Items, so these are the items over here. If you wanted to format the item, you can change the color of the item. Let's take it as orange, right? Title, background color, you can do it. As of now, I'm not doing that, right? So this becomes your dynamic title and it will be applicable to all the visuals you are working over here. Okay, somebody's saying something. All right. So yes, you are talking about, somebody has highlighted the point about the relating the data, which is known as data modeling in Power BI. So I doubt we will be able to do the data modeling in Power BI. As I told you yesterday, in this we are totally focusing on creating the visuals, right? The modeling is another topic which is quite tough to complete within the limited time period. But here we will focus on the visualization part. I'm trying to give you the max which I can in the visualization, right? So this is a slicer over here. Let's proceed further. So we have talked about the slicers. Then you can see the date slicer also over here. We have something known as date slicers. So let me take a line chart over here. So where we can see the sales on the basis of the order date. Let me also put the category over here and let me resize this. And I can take the slicer over here and I would like to put the order date over here. So now you can move the slicer to specify the dates. Okay, so this is how you can specify the dates in the date slicer. But if you don't want to specify a particular date, you can click on this drop down arrow and you will see something known as date hierarchy, right? So now you can select what you want. You want 14, 15, 16. So let me quickly do some selection control. So I will go to single multiple select with control off and select all. This is off and select all is on. So let me say select all. 15, 16. So this is how it is appearing. You can select the year over. Even if you want, you can select a particular quarter or particular month over here. Let's take, I want to compare the January of 2014 with the January of 2017. So in office supplies and technology, we can see that the sales has been increased from 14 to 17, but in 15, the sales has slightly dipped over here. For 14 Gen and 15 Gen, there is slightly dip in the sales. 59, 60, right? So this is how we can use the date slicers over here. Let's say, okay, interactive, fine. This is fine. Okay, so right before I proceed on with this, here you will be getting some challenges. So let me skip off this part, right? Right. So I have skipped few of the visuals because I know that if you need, there is a requirement of corporate email ID to create those visuals. Right. So that is the reason I have skipped from few charts. And let us talk about the inserting the objects in Power BI. So let's see how can we insert an object in Power BI. So you will see various objects over here. So you can go to the insert and you will see text box, button, shapes, images. So if you want to insert it, you can simply say a text box. Here it is. Now you can write whatever. Let's take the title over here as let me increase the size, alignment, color. Let's take golden. Here it is. And if you want to change the font and all, you can change the font as well. Inserting objects. Right. Okay. And if you let's see the formatting options we have over here, title, background. Let's put a quick background over here. So let's take it as a background. So this is how it is appearing, the object. So we have inserted a text box. So this is good for putting the titles and all in your visual. Okay. Then you have some shapes. If you want some shapes, you can add on the shapes. Like let me take it as an arrow over here. I am taking one shape as an arrow. Let me resize this. Let me put into the shape, and any shape you want. You want this icon, you can take this. And let me say a rotation. Here it is. So you can insert the shapes. Then you can insert the images. Let's take a Google image, open. So we have put in a Google image. Then if you want some buttons over here, you can also insert the button. So you have number of buttons over here, and few buttons will come up along with the predefined actions. So let me take a back button over here. Buttons, information. I'm just randomly putting some buttons to give you an idea. Let's take button. We have Q&A button. Let's take buttons. Let's take a right arrow button or question mark. Any button you want, you can take it. Like this. Okay. So these are the various objects. If you want, we can also take one visual over here. Let me take the sales on the basis of subcategory. Okay, and let's display the data. Now, so these are the various objects we have inserted over here. Let's take this image, and there are many various options like background, border, shadow, all those which you can play around. I will give you the important one. There is something known as action. So I can click on this action. I can make the action on. I will click on this drop down and you will see the various type of actions we have over here. That is back, bookmark, page navigation, Q&A, and web URL. So let's take the web URL action over here. So I will take the web URL and I will specify the URL over here. So let me take the URL. Here it is. Right. If you wanted to give any tooltip, you can say go to Google. But now you move your pointer over here and you are getting the tooltip go to Google. Let me click on this and see it will open Google for you. So this is known as a URL action. Then if you will see, let me go to this page slicer. I will go back to this page, and this is a back button. I haven't done anything on it. It comes with a predefined action. If you will say control click, it will take you to the previous page. Back button will take you to the previous page over here. Okay, then we have one Q&A button over here. So you just click on this and see what happens. Q&A. Now this allows you to ask question from the Power BI like total sale. It is giving you the total sales. Right? So like this, you can ask question, maximum profit generating category and so on, etc. You can ask the questions from this. Again, this is a predefined. Then let's take another one. Let's take this shape. We can assign action to any of the object. Let us take action as on. And let's take a page navigation. So if you wanted to navigate to a particular page, you can give this. So I wanted to go to the, let's take any one number card. Right. And if you want to give the tooltip, say show number card. That's it. You need to do control click over here and it will take you to the page. Here also you can insert a button which will take you to the previous page. So if I can I can go to the insert button. I will say back. Right. You can say control click. It will take you to the page. Right. Then let us take the action on this. So this is the back action. So let me put a back and say previous page. So it will take you to the previous page. Let me click over here. See, it has taken to the previous page which I have worked. Let me go back to this. Let me click over here. it will take me to the previous page which we have worked on. Okay, then let us take this one. Action. So we have seen the back, bookmark, drill through, page, navigation, we have seen Q&A. Okay, now let's hear the Q&A. We can give the Q&A over here. And tooltip is, I can say, ask me. And let me click on this. So we have assigned a Q&A action to this particular button. Ask me. Total profit. Here it is. Now, what is the another action we have? So we have seen back, bookmark, page navigation, Q&A, web URL, bookmark and drill through option is remaining over here. So let me go to this region where we have created a drill through. Now here I will like to put a button. So let me say insert button and let me take this icon over here. So I will say, let me increase the size and I will go to the action and we'll make it as a drill through action. I will say drill through. If you want to give some tooltip, you can give the tooltip and you can specify the destination. I would like to go to the segment. I will go to the segment. I will also create over here buttons. Let me take this. And this I will take it as action. Let me take it as drill through. And the destination is category. Similarly, I will go for the category. I will take a button over here. I'm taking this button. Let me put it over here. And I can go to the action. Action, and I will say drill through over here, and the destination I will take it as subcategory. Now see what happens. I will go to the region. As of now, you will see that the button has been disabled. I have to select a region, so I'm taking a Western region. You see the sales of the Western region is 725,000. Let me control click on this. So I'm getting the bifurcation of 725,000 on the basis of the region. Let me take a home office region where the sales is 136,000. Let me click on this and you can see I'm getting the bifurcation of 136,000. Let me take furniture, which is 50,000 over here, and furniture, and I will control click on this, and I'm getting it on the basis of the bifurcation of 50,000 on the basis of the subcategory we are getting over here. Okay. So this is how initially we have to do right click and then go to the this drill through. So this becomes more convenient and easier that we have a button of a drill through. We can click on that button and we will be able to get it. Okay. So this was about inserting the objects. I have just shown you quickly which are objects we can insert over here. Right. So this is about the inserting of the objects. The next thing and the most important thing which is coming up over here is creation of the report. So let's see how can we create a report. And report is basically the combination of multiple visuals. So let's try to create a report. I would like to create a sales summary report, right? So first of all, let's take a text box over here and we will put some title over here. So I can say per store sales summary. Let me make it bold. Let's increase the size over here. Let me make it center line. If I want, I can change the font. I can take it as a title over here, and I can quickly change the background color over here. I would like to put the background as black, and I would like to put the font color as, let me take it as golden over here. Right, sample superstore sales summary, it is appearing, or right, whatever. Now let's create few visuals over here. So first of all, I would like to create a card over here. So I'm creating a card which will display the subcategory, and I would like to display the subcategory which has generated the maximum sales. So for which, again, just I told you, I will put the subcategory on the filter on this visual. Instead of basic filtering, I will say top and top one on the basis of sales. And do not forget to click on the apply filter. So I'm getting the phones over here. Let me give it the appropriate label over here. Rename this visual. I will say max revenue generated. Hmm. Or given phone given max revenue. This also looks better. Hmm. Let me resize. Sorry. Let me resize this card. I will be doing a quick formatting. This creating a report is a one-time effort. Quick formatting on this. Let me put it over here. Formatting, category, golden, text size. Let me make it as 18, or I will like to make it as 16. Right. And data label. Also, I will like golden, and 35. Let me reduce the size over here. Then putting the background color as black, border shadow, putting the border as golden color, and making it as a rounded corner border. That's done. So this is a card which I have created for the maximum revenue generating category. I can just copy paste this visual so that I need to do the minimum efforts, or instead of this, I will take maximum profit generating. So I will put the sales into the subcategory into this. Instead of basic filtering, I will say top and top one on the basis of profit, and I will say apply filter. So the copier being, let me rename this most profitable. We are getting this most profitable over here. Then I don't want this. Okay, I will like to take let's take a card over here, not card. I will like to take a gauge chart over here where I would like to display this time. Let me take this over here. Phones, copier. I would like to take a gauge chart over here where I would like to display the sales. I will take a quick format of this. Let me take the format printer. I will put it over here. This is how it is appearing, and I will do some formatting onto it. Gauge axis, I will give the maximum as okay. Then data color, let me take it as this. No data labels off. Call out value. Hmm. So we are getting the sales over here, the total sales. Call out title, I don't want over here. So right, this is fine. This is the total sales we are getting. Total sales. Let me take one more of this. I'm copy pasting this. And this, I will like to take instead of sales, I will like to display profit over here. And let me formatting gauge axis. I will say this is the sales and the profit appearing over here. Let me take another visual where I would like to take the sales on the basis of subcategory. Sales on the basis of subcategory. Let me resize this. I would like to put the data labels over here. Let me take this format printer. I will put it over here. Right. Let me do some formatting over here quickly. I will go to the y-axis. I will change the color over here. Right. Let me reduce the size. I will make it as 12. I don't want the x-axis over here, so I have removed the x-axis. I want the data labels to be displayed. Data label to be displayed in the back color. And display unit should be 1000. Decimal values 0. Position size is 12. Position is inside center. So this is how it is being displayed. Let me resize this visual over here. Then let us take another visual where let me make a copy of it. And I will like to take it as instead of subcategory, I will like to display category sales. Let me take a slicer over here. Instead of this, I would like to take a slicer. Instead of category and sales, I would like to put region into the slicer. Let me put this over here. Quick formatting. items, color, selection controls, multiple select with control is off, select all is on, and header is not required. And along with this, I would also like to put state over here. This is the state we are putting over here. And let me take one more where let me take the pi, or I can, instead of this, I can create a copy of this so that I don't have to resize. And I would like to take a pi over here where instead of category, I would like to have the region and quick formatting. I don't want the legends over here and I want detailed data label. Color should be this and no decimal places. Right. This is what we are getting over here. Let me see if I can adjust few more visuals over here. Okay. This, then we have the pi over here. I can create a copy of this. This is the pi we have. So instead of pi, I would like to take a donut on this. And here, instead of region, let me try to take the segment. I'm getting the segment sales over here. This and let me try to take a copy of this. And I would like to take it as a multi-row card where let me remove this and let me remove this, where I would like to take the customer name over here and I would also like to take the sales value over here. I would like to put the customer name into the data field and I will say top, and I would like to display top 3 over here on the basis of sales. So let me put the sales into the data value and say apply filter. So I'm getting the top 3 customers who have generated the maximum sales. Let me do the quick formatting over here. So category I don't want. Card title I want it in a golden color and increasing the size. Then data label to be displayed in, let's take orange color, and reducing the size, let's take 16. Okay. In the card, I don't want to show the bar over here. That's it. I think this is what I want. Let me increase the size a bit. If it can be reduced, let me see if it can also be reduced. Let's put it over here. And I would like to take one more visual over here. Let's put it like this. Let me increase the size of this. And this I would like to display it as a line chart, where in place of displaying the sales on the basis of category, I would like to display it on the basis of order data, and would like to bifurcate it on the basis of category. Right. Quickly, I don't want any legends over here. Neither I want any data labels. That's it. And I can go to the shape. Let me make it a slightly thicker line. Yes, this is more visible. Here is your report which has been generated over here. Let me, yes. If you want, you can just say you give on the page background. If no visual is selected, and you go to the formatting part, and you will see the page background, and you will do the formatting for the page. Let me put it as a black color, and you can put the shading over here. So you can have a grayish background at this, right? So this is the final output which we have created over here. We are able to create a report. Okay. And the next thing which becomes over here is, once you are through with the report, so which is the final product of Power BI. So you can see by default this report is interactive. If you will click on a particular region, so if I move this, you will click on the Western region. Now you are getting the details only about the Western region. You take on the South, you can see the values are changing depending on the region you are selected. If you say select all, everything will be displayed. You can go to the Western region and you can select a particular state. If you say select California, you are getting the details only about the California. So it is displaying the total sales generated and the total profit achieved in California, right? Let me say select all, and you select, click on the consumer. You are getting the details about the consumer. You click on West, you will be getting the details about the Western region. You click on technology, you are getting the entire visual is talking about technology only, and so on. So that is, your visual is by default interactive. You do not have to do anything extra. Okay. So this was the final product of this. Now, the next thing which comes up over here is publishing, right? How to publish it over here. So you can see you have a publish button over here. You can click on the publish. Do you want to save the changes? Yes, I have to save the report before I can publish it. Publishing it means putting the data from Power BI service account, right? I will go to this. Let me save it somewhere. Let me say sales report, sales report. So you can see it has been saved, and now we can publish it. So this is where I wanted to publish in this. So it is publishing. So all the pages which are there in your this Power BI workbook will be published onto the Power BI service. Success, it has been published, right? You can go to your Power BI service account. This is my Power BI service account. Let me refresh the page. Let me go to the My Workspace. My Workspace is just like a folder. You go to the My Workspace. Let us see. Sales report. Here it is. So this is the report which we have created, and this report is now available online. I need not to be dependent on a particular machine. I can open this report anywhere I want. Okay. So this is how we can publish the report, and after publishing, there's an option of share. We can go to the share and we can share it. We can copy the link and we can copy this link. And if you want, I can put it into the chat box. Here it is. I have shared the link on the chat box. Anybody who clicks on the link will be right. Sir, difference between dashboard and the report. Yes, I can tell you that. But if you click on this link, you will be able to view this report. But first of all, you need to have a Power BI service account. Then only you will be able to view this report. I am allowing you to view the report, but you need to have Power BI service login. And one important point to be noted, in Power BI service, anywhere in Power BI, your personal email ID will not work. You need a corporate email ID and so on. Right? Secondly, somebody has asked the difference between the dashboard and the report. So in Power BI, this is a report, right? This is a report, and we can create a dashboard in Power BI. So if you will click on any of the visual over here, you will see this pin icon. You can click on this pin icon and you will say pin to dashboard, and you will simply say a dashboard name, sales pin. Go to dashboard. Right, so this is your visual which has been taken, and like this you can create you can take the visuals from the multiple reports and put it into the dashboard, right? But if you will click over here, you will see you will be going back to the report from where this visual has been taken. And this is the biggest drawback in dashboard in Power BI, that dashboard are not dynamic by default, not interactive by default. So in Power BI, most of the time we will be using the Power BI reports. Dashboards are used only when we need to see the static view. Although there is a solution for creating a dynamic dashboard, but I think that will not be much useful. So you can click on the three dots and you will see pin to dashboard, and you will get an option of pin live. Here it is, pin live, sales DB. I will say a new dashboard, SDB2. Say pin live. Go to dashboard. So this is your live dashboard over here. You click on this. See, it is being interactive. This is a dashboard and it is interactive over here. Okay, but the same thing we were doing in the report as well. So dashboard are majorly used in if you want to give a static report. So in the real-time scenario, 99% cases we are using the reports rather than the dashboard over here, right? So this is all what I need to deliver in this, right? So we have tried to put the maximum things which we can put in this module with a limited period of time. I have just tried to bring you to a level so that you can create a report and publish a report.